Hello guys, my name is Edward, and today we're going to go over a budget gaming PC. A lot of people wouldn't call a $700 budget budget gaming, but in my opinion, you can't go any lower without suffering a bit on performance. So, the site we're going to be using is going to be Newegg, and the build I'm going to be building is, well, my very own. This laptop I have here is the Cosmio X305, pretty old piece of equipment. So it has a 2.0 gigahertz processor, Core 2 Duo, with a 9700 mobile GTS graphics card by NVIDIA. It's pretty damn old. So, you know, it's been 4 years and it's done its job. It can still handle some games. It's amazing, really. But you know, I really could use an upgrade. You know, there's some games out there like Battlefield 3, hell, even Batman Arkham City. It just, man, I have to turn the graphics way low in order for it to do anything. I can't do any anti-aliasing, and I'm not a guy who's big on looks. I can play a game. I'd rather choose performance much more than you know, graphics and just looks in general. But however, if I can, you know, afford a good rig now after 4 years, I think I'm due for one, right? I think everyone's due for a new system. So I decided to go with a desktop, not a laptop anymore. Despite the fact that this laptop has served its purpose very well, it's still going actually. This little piece of equipment is going over to my mother. She's going to inherit this for what she does, which is multimedia viewing, and you know, just you know what moms do with computers. This is going to be more than enough. She's going to, and you know, this system is, if the Cosmio series is famous for anything, it's sound. It has an amazing sound. It has some amazing subwoofers, and the just amazing sound from a laptop. For a laptop. So without further ado, let's go over the specs for the build that we're actually going to work on here. Keep in mind that this is a $700 to $800 build because I'm going with a very subjective case. And cases, as we know, are very, very subjective. I could have suggested you one like the NZXT Source 210, a very, very good case. However, you might want to go for a Rosewill Redbone, which is in the same price range, $40. Or maybe you want to go with a Cooler Master Storm Scout like I did, you know, which I do not condone. It is a stupid move. I just really wanted a case of the side panel, and I really wanted it to look nice. So ignore the actual case, unless you want to count this as an $800 rig. However, if you want to get the same, you know, if you want to get the same case, it's going to go for $800. However, the case that I guarantee is the Rosewill Challenger. The reason why I guarantee this case is because it has 3 fans, it runs cool, and there's also a combo on Newegg, which gives you an additional 4 fans to the 3 that come with a case on a combo deal that does not charge you for the fans themselves. Anyways, let's go over to the build itself. The processor is going to consist of the i3 2110. The Core i3 2120. The reason why I went with the 2120 and not the 2100 was because, quite frankly, it's a 3.1 gigahertz processor, the 2100, and the 2120 goes up to 3.3. It's a very, very nice spot to sit at for only $15 more, and we can afford that. So what I did was go with the 2120. You can go personally with the 2130, which clocks it to 1 more decimal at 3.4. But that's up to you. Remember that the i3 is not overclockable. It is a locked cores. It's a locked processor. You can't do shit to it. unless you know how to fuck with locked processors, which you can, but you can only modify, I think, 1 or 2 decimals. No biggie. 3.3 to 3.5 maybe. You won't see much of an improvement there. But like I said, you can go with either one of these 3. I do not suggest the 2125 because it has, the only difference is that it has 3000, Intel 3000 graphics instead of the 2000 that usually come with an i3 for approximately, well, like $40 more. So it's definitely not recommended, it's not by me at least. Go with the 2120. It's a nice happy medium between the 2100 and the 2130. Going on to the motherboard. A lot of people find this motherboard subjective, but quite frankly, I was looking at the ASRock Pro 3, Gen 3, Pro 3, that's the Pro 3, and it looks great. I haven't touched it, I haven't felt it. I've read a lot of reviews that say that it's a very flimsy motherboard. It feels very cheaply made, but, you know, ASRock hasn't disappointed in recent years. Maybe a couple of years back I wouldn't have recommended it, but nowadays I saw the Pro 3, just the Pro 3, no Gen 3, and I actually got to mess with it with the help of one of my friends. And it felt nice, it performed nicely, and we want to make this rig upgradable. That is the main reason for why this rig is $700. We want to make it upgradable. If any Ivy Bridge comes out, if any of the 7 series AMD graphics drop down in price, we want to be open to that, you know, to that possibility. So this is the main deal with our rig. It's going to be an upgradable rig. You're not going to have to buy a new one for hopefully like 6 years. Just by upgrading the processor and the graphics card. So let's move on. We were going with the Pro 3 Gen 3. Remember that this motherboard does not have any crossfire. It has one PCIe by 16 port. It is 3.0 because it is Gen 3, so it will support your Ivy Bridge and your new generation of graphics cards, whether it be the 600 series or the 7 series of AMD and NVIDIA respectively. Now, we're moving on to the graphics card. This might come off as a bit predictable for you guys. The Radeon 6870. The reason for why I'm choosing the Radeon 6870 is because it's just a good card. Price performance wise, right now it's going for, I believe, $159. Really cheap. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go with that card. It's going to be Sapphire brand. I don't know if you guys have any issues with Sapphire, but it's a decent brand. So, moving on to the RAM. We're choosing G-Skill RAM because it comes off with a combo. The Ricer RAM, as people like to call it, because it has such a huge heatsink and it looks positively ridiculous. Looks like something that would have come out from Japan. So that's okay. I don't mind. If you mind, pick up some Mushkin Black Line with 1600 speed, and you're good to go. You're missing out on a couple of bucks. Doesn't really matter. Choose what you want. Okay. 8 gigabytes of RAM, by the way. Sorry. This is my first vid. Be gentle, please, guys. So, we got most of this stuff out of the way. Here comes the PSU. A lot of controversy is going to surround this. The OCZ ModXStream 600 watt modular PSU. The reason for why I chose this is because some people out there will want to upgrade the graphics card to a 6950 perhaps. Once they go incredibly down in price, maybe you don't want to jump over to the 7 series AMD or even the 600 series AMD. Or maybe you want to get a 580 in like a year. And that's completely viable. So we're going with a 600 watt PSU. Granted that we're not counting in or factoring in overclocking either the GPU or the CPU. That's another sketchy part. If you're picking up a 6950, you might want to, I might recommend picking up a 700 watt PSU or a 650 watt PSU. The reason why I chose this PSU is because it's cheap. For a modular power supply, 600 watt, it's great. And it's OCZ, you know, but it is recommended by Hardware Secrets. It has the Gold Award. And Hardware Secrets is a site that breaks down the motherfucking PSUs. they open that shit up and they have like 12 pages for one review. So I don't know about you, but that's some pretty extensive reviewing and surveying of a power supply. So we're going with this one. You can't have too much power, and 500 watts is a little lacking now by today's standards. Granted that everything is becoming more energy efficient. The Ivy Bridge is going to suck in no more than 60 watts, as we know, overclocking notwithstanding. So, you know, we want to go easy on this, but we want to be prepared. We want to get a power supply that'll last us for a while, right? We won't have to go, oh man, you know, I'm missing 100 watts. I'm going to have to go out and spend $100 or $60 just for a better power supply. Why didn't I get the 600 watt a while ago? So we're going with this. Modular. Beautiful, right? Okay. Going on to the DVD writer and reader is going to be one I suggest that you grab from a combo deal with the i3-2120. Below this video, I'm going to be showing you the links. I'm going to be supplying the links below in order for you to just go over to the Newegg page and, you know, just find them immediately. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Let's see. Like I said, this case is going to come with its own fans, the Cooler Master, the Roswell Challenger. So it's really nice. If you want to pick up the Cooler Master Storm Scout, then you're going to have to, if you want to mod it, you're going to have to pick up your own deal here. But this rig is going to handle many things. Many things. We're going to have some benchmarks after a while, some extensive unboxing. This will come in a week, and I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Remember that this is the upgradable rig, the future resistant, if you will, rig, because there's no such thing as future proofing or anything of that sort. So we're just future resisting here. You know, we're going to try and make the best rig that we can, the best PC that we can, with the possibility of picking up a processor here, a graphics card there, and you're still going to be in the game. So, without further ado, please join me in the next video, and actually, right after the break here, I'm going to be showing picture by picture the components that we're going to be using for this rig. Join me next week for the actual unboxing and eventually the final build and its benchmarks. So thank you very much. Take care, stay golden, and I'll hear from you soon.
So here are the actual components. I will be providing any links to combo savings and to the items themselves from Newegg. And one more thing I forgot to mention, the hard drive. It's going to be a Western Digital Caviar Blue, 500 gigabyte, 6 gigabyte per second download or transfer, and it's going to be $84. It's a pretty decent hard drive. Not much to say about that. Alright guys, see you guys later.